Welcome to the Explainer. For decades, the way we've talked to technology has been, well, pretty clunky, all clicking buttons and filling out forms. But that's all about to change. We are entering a new world where our tech finally speaks our language. Just imagine for a second you're talking to a really great real estate agent. They don't just shove a form in your face. No, they listen. They ask smart questions. They read between the lines to figure out what you really want. And they start building this mental picture of your perfect home. Okay, now picture doing that same search online. The experience is the complete opposite, isn't it? It's frustrating. It's rigid. You're the one who has to learn how to speak computer. This whole setup has a name. It's called the discrete model of interaction. And for decades, it's forced us, the humans, to do all the work, to translate our complex, messy lives into the simple language of drop-down menus and checkboxes. I mean, let's be honest, there's no filter for cozy, right? But that old way of doing things, it's on its way out. And that's opening the door to a totally new kind of conversation. The reason for this huge shift? It really all comes down to the rise of large language models, or as you know them, LLMs. Okay, so let's break this down. That old discrete model was all about you adapting to the machine and its rigid forms. The new model, the continuous model, completely flips that. The machine finally adapts to you because it can understand dialogue, context, and your intent. The real story here is who's doing the work. The burden is shifting, and this isn't just some small tweak. This is a fundamental leap from just matching keywords to, well, to true semantic understanding. A basic search engine might find the word quiet, sure, but an LLM can understand what quiet actually means in the context of a neighborhood. It gets the intent behind your words. So, how does this actually work? How does a machine go from just seeing a bunch of words to, genuinely getting what you mean? Let's go back to our house search. If you type a sentence like this into a typical website, it's gonna choke. There's no checkbox for cozy. There's no filter for a safe area. You'd be forced to translate your dream into the very limited options the website gives you. But here's where the magic happens. With an LLM-powered system, it interprets the entire request. It infers that quiet and safe for a family mean things like being away from nightlife and having good schools nearby. Then it queries multiple systems, maps, crime data, school ratings, and synthesizes all of it. It doesn't give you a list of links. It gives you a real recommendation. It's almost like having a really good salesperson right in your pocket. You mentioned you have a growing family, and it just knows that probably means you care about safety and having more space, just like a human expert would. It's proactive understanding, not reactive filtering. And this is way bigger than just making one app a little bit better. This whole conversational model is set to fundamentally change the very nature of search itself. Think about it. For the last 20 years, what has search really meant? It means you type something in and you get back a long list of blue links. The engine found some documents for you, but the heavy lifting of sifting through all of them to find the actual answer, that was all on you. AI-powered search completely flips the script. It acts as your own personal research assistant. It synthesizes all the information from all those links and just gives you a direct, consolidated answer. The goal is no longer to provide documents. The goal is to provide knowledge. So what this means is, you can ask these incredibly complex, multi-layered questions like this one. This spans lifestyle, career, real estate, all these different domains that no single website could ever possibly handle. But an AI agent, it can parse this, query dozens of sources, and come back with a single, coherent recommendation. And the fallout from this is huge. It represents a massive shift in how we're all going to behave online. We could be moving from a world where almost 90% of our digital life happens on individual websites to a world where maybe more than half of that time is spent just talking to a single AI layer. And if you're a business, well, that changes everything. And if we look a little further down the road, this whole idea of interaction goes way beyond just typing text into a box. Technology is finally, truly going to adapt to us. We are heading for a multimodal future. And what does that mean? Well, imagine this. You could verbally describe your ideal home, upload a photo of a style you like, maybe even sketch a quick map of the neighborhood you want, and drop in a PDF about the local schools. The AI would just
Get it? It would fuse all those different inputs into one single request.
So naturally, this changes the job for the people who build these products. Their role is becoming less about designing static interfaces and more about becoming curators of intelligence. Their new job is to teach the AI, to feed it the unique proprietary data and the domain expertise that makes their assistant smarter and more helpful than anyone else's.
And you can bet this transformation is only going to accelerate. Just think about how computing power used to be locked away in giant, expensive mainframes. Then it moved to the cloud and became affordable for everybody. Well, we're seeing the exact same pattern with these powerful AI models. They're becoming a commodity, cheaper, more efficient, and accessible to everyone.
And this really brings us to the most important point of all. When you boil it all down, here's the big takeaway. For the first time in computing history, the machine is learning to speak our language instead of us having to learn its. And that is a profound, incredible reversal.
This whole shift means that technology is transforming from just being a simple tool that we command into a true collaborative partner that we can reason with. And that leaves us with one final and I think really exciting question to think about. Now that our machines can finally, truly understand us, what incredible things are we going to build together?